You're tuned in to the Foxboro BeatCast, a podcast for Patriots fans by Patriots fans. And here are your hosts, is Kaleb McChesney and Ryan Moore.
Hello and welcome to the Foxboro BeatCast, everybody. I'm your host, Kaleb McChesney. Alongside me is my co-host, Ryan Moore. Not a lot of great things to say today, I don't think. Patriots again dropped the ball and drop another game, 21-17, your final from Vegas against the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't even finish the game. He lost to Brian Hoyer. Max Crosby with the game-clinching sack of Mac Jones in the back of the end zone. You had some things that lead up to it that concocted a whole segment of the show later. But before we get right into that, Ryan, hello. Anything you want to say to the fine people this week?
No.
It's
same old. Patriots suck at this point.
Yeah. Yep. I know the people who don't watch the games or whatever and just watch for us, there are a few of them, are just waiting to see us come in here with some good news, some smiles and laughs. And, well, it's not this week. Not at all. For those wondering, Jimmy Garoppolo looks like he's okay. He went to the hospital just for precautionary tests. So don't worry, I didn't lose two things on Sunday. I only lost one.
I was gonna say, I remember you were like in the game preview last year. You're like, "Don't hurt Jimmy." What happens? Jimmy gets hurt.
Dude, the offensive line the Raiders have is it's bad. It's not as dysfunctional as ours, but I think they're just void of like any talent there.
I was gonna say, when your best O lineman is probably arguably Colton Miller, that's it's not really.
When you're starting Justin Herron at tackle and that Raiders team, that they're just void of talent. That's their issue. They're void of talent. But we had a game on Sunday. Let's talk about it just a little bit. Anything that we can get out of it, or we can have a little fun here and just make this the filter off rant zone, where we just go off on anything and everything we feel about the team. And that's our weekly vent session. Then we come out and we talk about our topics. So, Ryan, you can feel free to just let loose and say what's on your brain here, because at this point, there's nothing to really talk about with the game. I mean, it went exactly how you expected it. The offense stalled time and time again. Mac Jones threw ugly balls and threw that god-awful pick that's pretty much just gotten me off the ship. I mean, you saw any group chat that I was in, I was like, yeah, this was the exact moment that I was done.
That's when Mac Jones jumped the shark. Yeah,
especially to me, who was pulling for it and holding out hope as long as I could. I don't think that we can. I think that, at a certain point, there's no more. Let's just see where it is at the end of the year, because this is kind of what it looks like. Yeah, and I'll get into it later. I'll get to it later in the show. But I was going through a schedule with our good friend Travis, No Fist. We love him to death. I was going through the remaining schedule. There's still a reality that I can see where after these next two games, which are versus Buffalo at Miami, they're going to be losses. We're going to be 1-7 at the end of that, I believe. That we can just rip off 7 straight. I could see the reality of that happening. But again, Brian, I kind of hijacked you here, so you just go ahead, take the reins.
Okay. I have one player I need to focus on, because we have another player we're going to talk about in our next segment, but this is another player that I felt just get him off the team at this point, and that's Vidarian Lowe. He somehow makes Marshall Newhouse look like prime Orlando Pace. Like, that rep versus Max Crosby, and I know Max Crosby's an elite football player, mind you, but that safety rep where Mac Jones got sacked was one of the worst pass blocking reps I have ever seen in my life.
Like, didn't even get in the way.
Yeah. You're a turnstile. Human pylon. Like, what are you doing? Get him off the team. This guy, I remember we traded for Minnesota in the preseason, and I was like, well, his PFF grades, blah, 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 blah. They're saying he looks like might be good or whatever. No, this guy sucks. Sorry. shit. Get him off the team. As for the rest of the team, I'm sorry. I'm at the point where I want to see the whole entire house cleaned. Everybody.
Another topic we'll get to today as well.
Whether it's at the trade deadline or in the off season, just we talked about Belichick last week. I'm going to talk about him again. This is the most undisciplined, most unaccountable, most sloppy pile of shit football team I've ever watched in my fucking lifetime. And I'm not even really including just the Patriots here. It's in general, you're Cleveland Browns bad. This isn't there's some signs of upside, listen,
No,
we're not the
it's
best
literally
team.
The only thing I can say is that the defense continues to play stingy.
Yeah, and which sure, fine. But the offense is the most disgusting pile of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you need a 2015 Denver Broncos level defense to push this offense onward.
I'm at the point where I did all my ranting and raving. What else is there to say? I'm sorry, Bill. Listen, Bill Belichick. We can talk about the 20 some odd years of great coaching and all that, whatever we want to talk about. It's 2023. And I hate to say it, it's a what have you done for me now lately league. And the what have you done for me now is abominable. I'm laughing at we said we're gonna laugh. This isn't like a fucking hearty old. This is a Joker laugh kind of. I'm done with this shit. I'm done watching this product. I'm done watching this nepotistic fucking Soviet Union ass franchise that just promotes whoever they want to promote based off the fact that, oh, well, I worked with him. I like him. Oh, I need to acquire him. My college coach says, my college coach buddy says this guy's a fucking stud. So we need him. I'm going to get this guy because my guy coached him at one point and blah, 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 blah. Fucking Jesus Christ, man. We need a change. We need change in thought in this organization. Enough of the stale Patriot way, stale fucking Bill Belichick methodology. Enough of this shit. It's garbage at this point. It's not adaptable to the modern NFL. It was great in the 2000s. It's not the 2000s anymore. It's not even the 2010s. We're in the 2020s. When you look at every other team in the league and you look at their offenses, and I know this year hasn't been great for football. Quite frankly, it's been kind of garbage.
Some weird games, yeah.
It's been kind of mediocre. But if you look at all the other offenses in the league, they lap you. And this is like some of the lowest quality football we're seeing played, and they're still lapping you. So what does this say about you?
I will point right at Vegas last week. Not the best offense in the world, and
they lapped the Saints.
They put up points. Yep, the Saints.
Bland ass New Orleans Saints lap you.
And I do admit that I still like a lot of talent the Saints have on offense, but it's not a great operation over there. Their coaches stink.
No. Yeah, exactly. And they still lap you. So what does that say about your scheme? What does it say about your organizational philosophies? It says they suck. It says they're not adaptable in the 2020s. And I was a bit more optimistic coming into the season, saying, "Hey, we'll be good.
It couldn't be worse.
9-10 wins.
It couldn't be worse."
Right now, we're in tank for Kaleb conversations.
And
in October.
Not me, Kaleb conversations. Caleb Williams, USC quarterback.
Yeah. I'm so done with this fucking team. I'm so done with this shit. I don't want to see Mac Jones in the Patriots uniform next year. Get him off the team. I would trade him at the deadline, quite frankly, if it was up to me.
Was Jimmy Garoppolo hurt? Listen, Josh McDaniels, I have an idea to pitch you. Mac Jones for a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah. I don't want to see basically the vast majority of the offensive line. Everybody but, we're going to talk about a player in the trade deadline segment. I don't want to spoil it too much. But Mike Onwenu I'd keep. David Andrews, I do like David Andrews. He hasn't had the greatest season, but I still think he gives a shit. I still think he's playing hard. I would keep him. Everybody else in the offensive line can go, leave, bye. Don't want to see you again. Everybody in the receiving room can, except for the young players like Douglas and Butte.
Yep.
Can go. Although, I don't want to get too into it. But there's another player that I would consider keeping, but I don't think will stay. The tight ends can go. Gesicki and Henry. Hunter Henry's been all right, but Hunter Henry doesn't fit this team anymore. Like, he's going to be 29, 30 next year or whatever. Doesn't fit it. I'm sorry. Youth movement. The defense, the defense has been playing fine, but there's a lot of guys in that defense where I wouldn't be sad if they moved on. Wouldn't be sad if they go for a youth movement there. All in all, I want a youth movement. I want a whole change in coaching. I want a whole change in everything at this point. Because what's happening in New England isn't fucking cutting it. I want to see a shift to a modern philosophy that I know should not be the worst in football. I know with the garbage that's being played in the NFL right now that we're the biggest steaming pile of shit in the league. This isn't acceptable. And I hate the whole talk of being spoiled, whatever. I'm not saying I want us to be 7-ring or 6-ring dynasty, whatever, Tom Brady era. I just want a watchable football team that can maybe win a ring.
Maybe win a playoff game.
Yeah, win a playoff game. Do anything. Have a little bit of success. Not be, oh, hey, we're the Cleveland, we're turning into the Cleveland Browns. Hey, we're turning into what were the Dan Snyder, Washington Redskins, Washington Commanders, whatever the football team. I don't want to be the Chicago Bears. I don't want to be...
Patriots of before our lifetime.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what they are right now.
Yeah. They are. Even look at the New York Giants right now.
The pre-Bledsoe Patriots is kind of what it looks like right now.
They're looking like garbage. They've become a joke again.
But
that's all I got, man. That's the long form of me saying we're a joke, we're a fucking clown show, we've essentially we haven't adapted, and now we're the worst in a terrible league.
Yeah. It's straight up. We have been. I don't want to say spoiled, but we've had our fair share of championships here, and I think a lot of that spoiled talk comes for the offseason and for fans who say we are the worst team in the history of the NFL. We're the biggest. No. As far as broad image goes, we're up there with the Cowboys. We're up there with the Packers as far as legendary franchises go, and nothing will take that away. But the product right now and the product on the field right now is what we're talking about. And
can I just say something quickly? Sorry to interrupt.
Go.
So I saw a stat. The Patriots had the longest streak without scoring a touchdown since the 2008 Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I think it was like a 12-quarter thing. It was 12 quarters.
Do I need to yell and scream about why you should not be compared to any era of the Cleveland Browns?
Especially a coach like
the 1960s.
With a coach like Bill Belichick.
We're talking about the fucking 2000s Cleveland Browns. Dog shit.
Can you even name the quarterback of
the modern Cleveland Browns that went 0-16? That is who you're being compared to.
Can you name the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns in 2008?
Man. Wouldn't shock me if it's Derek Anderson, quite frankly. As I know Derek Anderson's the quarterback in 2007. I want to say it's him and Brady Quinn.
That Brady Quinn might make sense.
Was it Brady Quinn that year?
I'm looking it up right now. That would make sense.
I was gonna say because Derek Anderson wasn't that bad. As
The 2008 Browns, coached by a friend of Bill Belichick, Romeo Crennel, 4-12. Their leading passer for the season, Derek Anderson, played 10 games, went 3-6.
Okay.
There was Ken Dorsey, Brady Quinn, and Bruce Gradkowski.
Ken Dorsey, offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills, by the way, who we're playing this week. Small world, I guess.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he has a Patriot connection too.
Wouldn't shock me. Fuck.
But
at this point, the Soviet Union ass franchise where everybody has connections to each other.
Yeah, it's not a great product out there. It's becoming a point where we actively come on this show and we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
How do we go on for an hour and a half talking about this? It's frustrating. It's a far cry from the Patriots of the past. But again, this is like the run. This is the first real season for us where the team is this down in the dumps. We're last in the division in the middle of October. That hasn't happened in our lifetime, Ryan.
No. Well, wait.
This is foreign.
2000. I mean, maybe in my lifetime in the year 2000, but I was born that year. So like
you were born at the end of that year, so you didn't.
Yeah,
see it.
I was born in December, so maybe I don't know. So it probably hasn't happened in my lifetime. It hasn't happened in your lifetime. I know that for sure.
No, I was born a month after the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's uncharted territory for us. It's something that we don't hope to get used to. But this is kind of where we are, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. But the season, mathematically, it's still not over. There's a lot of things that in history that side with us, and there's a lot of things coming up that we can kind of look forward to, I think. But right now, I'd be lying to you if I said I felt good. I'd be lying to you if I said that this team gave me any hope of having these things actually pull off. But a little bit later in the show, I will dive into the whole winning 7 straight thing, and we'll take it with a grain of salt. And we'll go from there. But let's get into the first topic, the first real topic of the show that isn't just us ranting and raving. What did I put first? All right. So while we're talking about things going wrong, it's time for DeVante Parker's moment in the limelight. If you remember, on the last Patriots offensive drive of the game, quarterback Mac Jones delivered a big-time throw right into the hands of wide receiver DeVante Parker. If you know how this season's gone, you can probably just figure out that he dropped it and set up the safety that was put the game on ice. Parker, after the game, claimed it hit his fingertips, when in reality, Mac Jones put it right in the breadbasket. This isn't the first time that Parker has shown a lack of accountability. Remember when the rumor was DeAndre Hopkins was going to be a Patriot? He huffed and puffed and got mad that he wasn't treated as wide receiver 1 and then got a new contract extension. This is the kind of attitude he's had pretty much since camp. So Ryan, I know you have stronger thoughts on this than I, and you can probably set up some of the talking points that I might have. So I will let you just kick it off with your DeVante Parker thoughts here.
Well, it goes back to lack of accountability. So DeVante Parker in the offseason, you brought it up, obviously, whines and pisses his pants. Oh my God, why are we going after DeAndre Hopkins? The Patriots reward him with a contract extension. A fucking contract extension.
Not a cheap one.
This guy's piss babying that they're going to help bring in someone that, quite frankly, and I know DeAndre Hopkins hasn't been a world beater in Tennessee, but I would still take DeAndre Hopkins any fucking day of the week over what the fuck DeVante Parker's been over the past 3 or 4 years, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck are you, DeVante Parker, right now?
I can answer that question.
I'm asking that in a serious manner.
I can answer that question.
You think you're fucking Randy Moss? DeVante
Parker in 2023 is an injury-prone jump ball receiver who doesn't have the aggressiveness to really complete those jump balls anymore. We saw flashes last year. We haven't seen it at all this year. He's been bad. He's injury-prone. He's old. He's lost a step. He's a far cry from what he was in Miami, and Miami was happy to give him to you for a 6th-round pick.
I think it was a 3rd.
Was it?
Traded a 3rd for DeVante Parker.
Oh, even better. Even better.
Yeah, man, like, and so one, we talk about it like the lack of accountability. You reward this guy after he fucking bitched and bitched and bitched. That's your first problem right there. And that goes against the fucking Patriot way. This whole Patriot way facade we were taught about our whole entire fucking life or our entire time watching this team. Oh, we're disciplined. We're about the team. There's no I in team. We're a collective unit. Oh, and hey, this player's bitching and pissing his fucking pants at like we might bring in a future almost a future Hall of Famer, maybe a future Hall of Famer in the receiving room. Let's reward him with a contract extension. So then, okay, now we go to the Raiders game. And what you said about DeVante Parker, right? This guy's been shit all year, quite frankly. He's washed. And like, what even is washed for DeVante Parker? Because all I remember him in Miami was he was drafted really high, like 11th overall. I remember 2015. And he was always injury prone. He would occasionally have, big catches.
Always good, not great.
Season. He always used to own the Patriots. If you remember, I remember he one time mossed Logan Ryan.
He was torching Stephon Gilmore there at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that PTSD. But what are you right now? You're quite frankly shit. At the NFL level, you're shit. And you're out here running around like you're Randy Moss, acting like, why are they trying to upgrade upon me, blah, 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 blah. Because you suck. I don't know how else to put it. You suck right now. And this whole lack of accountability hit its peak on Sunday when Mac Jones, and I've been Mac Jones' one of his harshest critics so far. That was the best ball I think I've ever seen him throw.
It's up there.
And what did you do, DeVante? It hits you right in the hands. Post game, you're like, oh, I hit up the fingertip. Take accountability.
It was T-Rex arms, actually. It was right.
Yeah, alligator arm. Like, fuck.
He didn't really have to stretch out for it. It ended up right here.
Even if it's not your fault, you take accountability for it.
Yep.
You know who actually took accountability in the post game? Despite the fact that none of this game was his fault in the fucking slightest manner? Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
That's the difference between leaders and losers.
I will give our quarterback a little bit of credit here. He's been pretty good about saying he sucked this year.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't attack it as hard as maybe we'd want him to. He doesn't beat himself up as much as we'd think. But I think he's held himself accountable pretty well. But I mean, in comparison to DeVante Parker, we probably hold more accountability than he does.
Yeah. I don't even play on the team, and I'd probably be like, yeah, man, I'm the reason I'm the reason the Patriots suck. No, it's once again is one of the biggest issues of this team. How are you going to even strive for improvement when this is one of your top receivers in the team? He can't even hold himself accountable for fucking his mistake. This is what I mean by I want just a cleansing, cleaning. I don't know, what's the word? Clean house.
Yeah.
Fucking cut everybody, man. Cut DeVante Parker. I would have released him if they hadn't given him the extension. I mean, shit, I probably still would have released him. Take the cap penalties at this point. You have one of the most cap spaces in the NFL.
You said that there's an out after this year, though.
There is an out, although it's kind of like you're not going to gain any cap space, but you're not going to
So you'd look to trade him first.
Massive penalty.
So you'd look to trade him first.
Yeah, get him off the team. This is not a player you can't keep for the future of this organization. You can't.
Again, he's been doing this. He's been doing this since camp.
Yeah.
This has been the DeVante Parker experience here in New England.
Yeah. And I go back to the Miami? Yeah, it was the Miami game.
Oh yeah, when Mac threw it up to him and he just got bossed by Xavier Howard. Maybe an ill-advised throw, but DeVante Parker did not give any effort to go after that ball.
Yeah. He looks like me out in the backyard. Like, fuck, man. This was awful. I don't.
The record represents this team. They're 1-5.
Yeah, they're losers. They're such fucking losers. It all stems back to them being losers. That's all there is to this. Nothing more, nothing less. And one of the king losers is DeVante Parker.
Biggest loser of them all, probably in that locker room.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
I think he summed it up pretty well. So let's speaking of the trade block, the deadline is right around the corner of this NFL season. I believe it's at the end of the month. The Patriots have some players on tradable deals. Josh Uche, who's been reported to not have any talks about a new deal yet. Kyle Duggar, who I think has said the same thing. Mike Onwenu, Kendrick Bourne, Ramondre Stevenson, DeVante Parker are all names that are thrown out on the table as trade options. So let's talk about who are trading out of here, offensively and defensively, what they might be worth, maybe teams that might look at them, and why we think they need to be traded. I'll kick it off here, and I will mention Josh Uche. If we're not intending on just re-signing him and not giving him a new deal, get him out. Let's move on. He's in a contract year.
I saw ESPN do like a bunch of mock trades, and and if you're offered this, you take it and you run. They would have the Patriots sending Josh Uche to the Jaguars for a second-round pick.
Deal.
You run
deal,
to that.
Deal.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, done.
Deal. Running back Ramondre Stevenson is also in the contract here. I'm a big fan of trading him.
He has one more after this.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's in a contract year after this year. If they get an offer for him that's more than a 4th-round pick, I'm in on that too. Kendrick Bourne, we're not using him. He looks good anytime he's on the field and you get the ball in his hand. If we're not using him, let him go.
Yeah, that's a player I like a lot, by the way, Kendrick Bourne. I would keep him. But the Patriots have shown they don't, for some reason, they don't like this player. I don't know why.
I also saw Bailey Zappi on the list. If we get anything more than a bag of Cheetos, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm in on that.
Absolutely. I'm all in. I would even go as bold as to say Mac Jones.
I would too.
You have a decision to make this offseason with Mac Jones, quite frankly. And I want him off the team. But they have a contractual decision to make with the 5th-year option.
I do have some breaking news.
What's the news?
It's not really Patriots related, but it's a former Patriot. The former defensive end of the Raiders and the Patriots, Chandler Jones, has been arrested again in Las Vegas.
For what?
Doesn't say.
Yeah, that's been an ugly situation, man.
Okay, wait. The records show that he was booked on a charge of violating a domestic violence temporary protection order as of Wednesday morning. So apparently he went back to that girlfriend's house where he was, had the bonfire in the back.
Yeah.
I would assume that's what happened.
He needs help, man. That's all I got on Chandler Jones. He needs help.
One of the better Patriots of the last decade or two. He was phenomenal.
That story, just everything that's gone on with him, pretty sad to see, quite frankly. He needs help. Yeah. Where were we? Trade deadline.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know why the Patriots don't like Kendrick Bourne, quite frankly. Like, kind of pisses me off. Like that's one of your best offensive players. Oh no, was I talking about Bourne or was I talking about Mac?
We were talking.
We went Mac or whatever.
You were about to move to Mac, but you went back on Bourne, which I thought could use a little more attention.
Yeah, that's probably your best receiver right now. And all this team does is try to ice him out. Just move him. Do right by him. This isn't,
Well, remember, Belichick witnessed him fight with Fatty P and benched him for basically all of 2022. So we're not going to do right by him.
All is a bunch of loyalty to a bunch of scrubs.
By the way, how'd the Eagles defense look on Sunday? Matt Patricia. Huh?
Yeah. Guys lost to the Jets. Good job. The Patriots somehow beat them. You guys can't.
But Mac Jones. Again, we had this convo. He's been one of the worst starters in the league.
Yeah.
And whether it's his fault or not, he's been bad. It's just the way you gotta play it.
Listen, is he the complete problem? No. Is he a big part of the problem? Yes.
He's in the top 5.
Yeah. Top 3. Like, I'd say the O-line, quarterback, receivers. Those are your biggest problems so far. There is a player I am intrigued about with the trade deadline. That is Kyle Duggar.
I want to keep him, but I don't think we will.
This is what I'm wondering. So this is what I'm wondering, right? I would go up to him and ask him, okay, what's your number on a contract extension? Can we iron something out? If you can't iron something out, I'm okay with trading him. And I'm okay with trading him strictly because, one, I think safeties are kind of a dime a dozen position. If you can get good starters there. I wouldn't say quite easily, but like it's one of the easier positions in the league to find like solid starters. 2, the play of Jabril Peppers has really been impressive. And I think if you can keep Jabril Peppers around, and mind you, want to hear something crazy? Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar are the same age.
Yeah, Kyle Duggar was an older rookie, wasn't he?
Yeah, 24-year-old rookie. Jabril Peppers, I think, was born 96. I think Duggar was born 96 as well. So, if you can keep around Jabril Peppers for maybe a little cheaper, I would do that rather than keep Duggar if Duggar is going to demand the sun and the moon.
Mm-hmm.
And you could probably trade Duggar for something solid too, like a 3rd-round pick. But yeah, that's what I got for the trade deadline. I don't know if you have anybody that could be like.
No, as far as the Mac Jones thing, because I think it's something that hasn't seriously been considered by a lot of people. But listen, if there's a team out there who thinks that they can turn this kid around and they want to give us a 2nd-round pick, sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I'm done. And I give Mac a lot of the credit because he has been screwed royally since last year. He's been screwed. There's no other way to put it. The coach put bad talent around him. The coach put bad coaches around him. And now we're in year 3. His mechanics are broken. The offensive line can't hold up for him. And now he's evading clean pockets. And he needs a reset. And I don't like a true reset. And everybody said that, well, this offseason was it. Patriots didn't do a good job of resetting then, did they? No. So, like I said, if the Vegas looks at it and says, oh, hey, I think we can fix this kid, 2nd-round pick,
who would be an
deal.
Intriguing trade partner? Minnesota.
I think they probably have
in the offseason, I should say.
Okay. If they're not in like the top 6 picks.
Yeah. And it's mostly because Kirk Cousins is a free agent at the end of the year. I don't know what their plan is at quarterback.
They're probably going to let him walk if they can do something younger and better.
Yeah.
And the Vikings administration, like the new administration over there, they've been quite aggressive.
You know who else who could make some sense is Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee. Yeah, I think we got to remember Tennessee, right? Their new guy, run by the next 49er. Is it Rand Cathron or Carthon? Cathron. I forget his last name. But if you remember, the 49ers up until magically like a few days before the draft were going to draft Mac Jones. So maybe you call Tennessee if they don't like Will Levis, if they don't like Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill. You got to move on from that. I'm sorry, he is who he is. Yeah. Maybe Tennessee and Mac Jones could be a fit.
I think Vegas is probably the most realistic.
That's if they keep Josh, though. Quite frankly,
yeah.
And let's be real. I don't know if Josh McDaniels is gonna last.
I mean, Brady's over there now. Would Brady have the heart to do it? I don't know. Would he use his influence to convince Mark Davis to keep him around? But listen, if somebody wants to give a second round pick for Mac, I take it. If not, I'm okay with riding it out. And even if we go into the offseason and we don't have the first or second pick, we're not going to get a quarterback, and we're not willing to trade. I'm willing to accept this option and play it out again and reset the next year. As much as that's not a popular option, if we can't do it any better, why would we do any worse?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be an off-season conversation to be had, but there are a few veterans around the NFL that I am looking at that could be intriguing to add.
Well, like Kirk?
No. Look at Arizona.
Kyler Murray?
Kyler.
Well, this is a trade block convo. We can dive into this a little bit. Kyler Murray. Obviously, it's been an up and down career for him in Arizona. He's a dynamic playmaker, but he's coming off the ACL injury. We haven't seen him yet this year. It looks like it's going to be coming in the next month or two.
Yeah, I think he's going to play this year. But if Arizona,
he's an interesting player, and I think he's got all the talent in the world. I think he's basically coming out of college. He looked a lot like Caleb Williams, just shorter.
Yeah.
I mean, dynamic playmaker, rocket arm. The only thing with Kyler is he's on that mega contract.
Yeah, I think you can kind of work around it. Like, look at what the Jets and Aaron Rodgers did, right?
Yep.
You can work around that. The one thing about Kyler, though, is I probably had that study clause back in. It's called the get off Call of Duty clause.
Yeah, but
clause.
You think that Kyler Murray should be under serious consideration? Like, you think it's possible?
The Cardinals get Caleb Williams, I think they're going to trade him. So I would seriously call up Arizona, and I don't know about the first round pick, depending on where it is, but if you can somehow pull off a big package without giving up your first round pick, I'd be more than down for that.
I'm okay with that scenario. Again, assuming that we don't have to give a first round pick. I think if a first round pick is on the table, we don't do it.
Right. If by some let's say by the Patriots kind of have a fluky win streak or whatever, and they get to the 15th, 16th, 17th pick, then it's okay, I would consider the first. But if it's top 10 or top 5 even, no. Sorry, no. I like Kyler Murray. I don't like Kyler Murray that much.
All right, Kyler Murray to the Patriots. It's something to think about.
Yeah, we're starting it now. Is Kyler Murray a Patriot?
Honestly, once this episode goes up, Ryan, let's find a picture of Kyler Murray in the Patriots jersey.
I have one.
Post it.
I can text you right now. I got one.
Post it right now, and then it'll lead right into our segment. But all right, while Ryan's doing that, let's set the window dressing for our week 6, week 7 NFL roundtable. As usual, there's a lot going on. The Detroit Lions once again looked fantastic and moved to tie with the Eagles and the 49ers for the best record in the NFL, I believe. The AFC North continues to stay wide open as the fight continues with 3 teams winning and the Steelers on bye. Anything else is certainly on the table. Let's talk about it. Ryan, what are you thinking about the NFL last week? Anything that interests you?
Yeah, well, I shit on the Cleveland Browns really hard, but I will praise them right now. That defense is elite.
Yeah. And Deshaun Watson should be coming back this week too.
I saw they have like the lowest yards allowed through like the first I don't know how many. What are we, week 6, week 7 right now?
Yeah, we're going into week 7.
The NFL, they have the lowest.
Interesting.
Are we week 7? I've kind of lost track of our weeks, man.
We're 1-5. That was week 6. We're going into week 7.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Through 6 weeks, lowest amount of yards given up, as a total. They've been elite. I feel like every week I'm praising a quarterback and they turn into dog shit. So,
who's it this week?
I kind of don't want to say it for the sake of one of our friends. I don't want to curse this quarterback.
Jared Goff, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's put the curse on, baby. Let's talk about Jared Goff. What do you like?
He's playing the best football of his career right now.
Yeah, he is.
Because he's been a Lion. And I gotta say, man, Ben Johnson. Remember the name, Patriots fans, especially if Bill Belichick's gone. Remember the name. That's all I gotta say.
That's Gerard Mayo. You know it's gonna happen. Kraft is just as nepotistic as Belichick is.
Oh my fucking god!
Listen, the only way it's not Gerard Mayo is if Kraft hands over all executive operation to Jonathan.
Please. I love Gerard Mayo. I love him. That was one of my favorite players as a kid. But come on. I'm sorry. I can't do this former Patriot shit anymore.
You know who could be out there? And I think is a fantastic head coach. And this kind of Mike Vrabel. This ties into our NFL roundtable. Vrabel, he's gotten that team to overperform time and time again, and now I just don't think the talent's there. That's okay. Ran its course. Put Mike Vrabel in New England. Get him a real GM. Dude, it'd go crazy.
Quarterback that's not Ryan fucking Tannehill.
Well, I mean, we have that problem right now with Mac Jones. But
yeah.
Imagine Mike
Vrabel and Kyler Murray. Let's go.
Mike Vrabel, Kyler Murray, a real GM. Tell me you're not for that, because I am.
Jr. Let's go.
Tell me you're not here for that.
I'd be down for that, even though I'm bitching about the former Patriots stuff. But I mean,
it's Mike Vrabel. He's established.
Vrabel, in terms of coaching trees, though, has actually stayed away from a lot of the Patriot type thing. Like, he came up at Ohio State, Houston, and
he's had a lot of good connections over the years.
Yeah. I wouldn't be against Vrabel. Personally, I'd probably prefer this time around an offensive coach if they're going to make that change. But
well, I don't know who's going to be out there really that we'd be willing to chase.
If they're not willing to chase Ben Johnson at this point, I'm sorry. You're fucking idiots.
Ken Dorsey?
No, not Ken Dorsey. Dude, Buffalo Bills fans want Ken Dorsey fired.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to former Patriots, there is a former Patriots assistant coach that had a rocky season, and maybe their franchise is trigger happy enough to fire him, and that's I almost said Brian Dable. Bill Dable. Fuck.
Ooh, imagine that. The Giants say screw you to Brian Dable after 1 year.
Look how bad, to be fair, look how bad they are, right? Like,
I think that's a talent issue.
It definitely is, but I mean, not
because he's not coaching hard.
Like, I don't know.
I'd be for Brian Dable.
I'd be okay with Brian Dable, even though
Vrabel, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But I think I'd be ecstatic about having Mike Vrabel here. I'd be pumped.
I love how we turn this from an NFL segment to who's gonna be the Patriots' next coach.
We're just kind of it's a foregone conclusion. Belichick's getting fired.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need to make a Photoshop with Kyler Murray in a Patriots jersey, and then Vrabel right next to him in the Patriots vest.
It's like a clutch points article.
Yeah.
Shout out Tristan, by the way.
Tristan would know how to do that.
Clutch points, strongest soldier.
We need to get a podcast that's less miserable because I feel like we come in here every week and we're more excited about talking about the reality where Belichick gets fired and we get to pick from the pool of NFL talent out there instead of just talking about the team itself.
Yeah.
Coming up, we'll get a variety podcast in here eventually. It might be audio only if you guys are okay with that, because that's one of Tristan's better ideas. But we'll see.
You get to hear me bitch about other sports teams instead.
Yeah, like the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, fucking.
I'm not bitching though. We've actually played okay.
Just wait. The Bruins will blow it in the.
Listen, I'm waiting on the cliff.
You're gonna be screaming fire Jim Montgomery halfway through the year if they're
Bring back Cassidy, damn it.
Yeah.
But
oh man.
All right. Let's get our hands dirty.
The NFL segment really was just us talking about coaches and hockey.
Coaches, hockey, Kyler Murray. The Patriots head back to Foxboro to take on division rival Buffalo Bills, who are right now pegged as one of the top teams in the AFC. The Patriots, on the other hand, are actually on the opposite end of things, as they're one of the worst. If there's any shot in hell, the Patriots pull this off because, again, division games can be a little wacky. How do they do it? How do the Patriots get back on track against Buffalo in Foxboro? Which, ironically, they played better in Buffalo last year than they did in Gillette. But what's up with this Buffalo team? Let's give a little rundown where we think the weaknesses are, if we can exploit them, and then we'll go to our picks.
I would say if there's a weakness of Buffalo, it's that they've really been injured. They lost was it Daquan Jones and Matt Milano, I want to say, to season enders. And those are two of their best run defenders. So listen, if you're gonna get anything of Buffalo, this would be the week for Ramondre and Zeke to really get going.
Yeah.
And by the way, Zeke actually looked amazing last week.
Yeah, scored it. That was a total oversight by us.
Yeah.
He scored his first touchdown.
Fair, when the team fucking sucks and we have nothing else to say but they fucking suck, it's easy to just be like, yeah, we'll miss this. But Zeke looked amazing last week. The best he's probably looked in years.
I mean, Romo and Nance were talking about it on the podcast. It's on the broadcast on Sunday. He looks like a little bit faster than he did at the end of Dallas.
Well, you could tell he's lost some weight. He's much thinner. He's much more.
He's lean.
Much more burst. And I'm here for a Zeke career renaissance if he wants to show it over the next few weeks. How many weeks we have in the season, 12 weeks. I'm here for it. Yeah, you need Zeke and Ramondre to get going. The Bills' run defense, it's taken a huge hit with them losing two of their best players on the defense. Once again, the offensive line needs to do their fucking job.
Von Miller's back, ain't he?
Von Miller. Gregory Rousseau, he's coming to his own.
I liked him coming out of college. That was an unpopular take by me, but I liked him.
Those are two guys that are going to give your tackles some problems if you don't.
They still got Ed Oliver over there?
They do.
Jesus, that Buffalo front is
and imagine they have Daquan Jones as well, who is their best run defender. Yeah. Him and Matt Milano. Yeah. I will say their secondary as well, like Tre'Davious White tearing his Achilles that they're coming back. That was that sucked to see.
Yeah.
Even as a Buffalo hater, that sucked to see. Their top cornerback is Christian Benford.
So the secondary is a little weak.
Yeah, I mean they still have Poyer and Hyde. So still have a
God,
good
I think about Poyer and Hyde, and I think about that playoff game where Mac just throws like the most beautiful pass to the back of the end zone, and it just I don't remember if it was Poyer or Hyde out of nowhere comes in,
I think
snags
it was Poyer, or was it Poyer? Fuck, it doesn't matter.
You know what still I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It was a beautiful ball.
Aguilar.
Yeah, it was a beautiful ball, and they just stole it.
Yeah. Maybe don't target Nelson Aguilar. Bad things happen.
He's been sucking in Baltimore, by the way. Who could have thought that? But so you think their secondary's a little weak? How about offensively? What do you think about any weaknesses there?
Their play calling has been a little funky in Buffalo. From what I've heard from Buffalo fans, they haven't been Ken Dorsey fans there.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be real here. Josh Allen and the Bills have just they've really shifted momentum in the rivalry. If there was a rivalry, because it was just the Patriots curb stomping them every year.
Yeah.
At one point, but yeah, it's Buffalo's rivalry now. Or it's Buffalo owning the fucking rivalry, I should say.
They've owned the division.
Yeah.
They've really taken our spot in the mantle.
I mean, Miami's
Oh, so now you want to hop on the Miami train.
okay, well, I mean, they're playing good football. I'll give them
great
credit
football,
there.
Elite football, maybe one of the best teams in football.
They beat up on the Panthers football.
Kicked our ass.
We kind of clamped Miami when you think about it.
I mean, yeah, but
if you look at Tyreek Hill's box scores, man,
their defense was 30 times better than our offense. They were willing to play our game and beat us at it, and they did. Raheem Mostert, they're like, okay, you're gonna take away our big passing plays. Okay, Raheem Mostert, and he just goes off.
Yeah, playing the Patriots game though was just fucking.
We're gonna force you to run the ball. Miami said,
"Don't
okay."
Be a total embarrassment and puke all over yourselves, and you'll win.
No, that the scoreboard did not indicate how close that game was. You took away the big plays, but they still beat the crap out of you.
Well, yeah, still just shows how bad the Patriots are. If Brady's there, the Patriots win. But
I still got Miami win the division, by the way. But keep going.
But yeah, no. Buffalo. I mean, listen, I don't see a whole maybe their running game isn't the greatest still. Their O-line's been solid. Their receivers are their receivers.
Josh Allen flicks his penis and the ball goes 80 yards.
Yeah. Josh Allen's annoying as fuck. Just why Buffalo this week?
Yeah.
Like, damn it, man. That Washington game. Actually, I'm saying that Washington game as if they're not going to shit their pants versus Washington. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of doing the whole preview, because I think you kind of nailed the head on the Buffalo stuff.
If we want to have a Patriots, just one last thing. If I see J.C. Jackson and Stephon Diggs, I'm turning off the game.
Yeah, that's PTSD inducing.
Yeah.
But what corner are we going to put on him?
Triple team him. I don't know.
Keon White out there.
Calvin Johnson, where he's double teamed by those two Saints cornerbacks. Do that all game.
We're going to put Keon White out there at corner.
Bucket.
Just tackle him at the line of scrimmage every time.
Josh Uche, you want to up your trade value? You're playing DB today.
So yeah, I don't think this game is going to be relatively close. But to go on to my little Patriots preview here for the rest of the season, I did mention that I think that there's a real possibility that we just rip off 7 straight and take us out of the 10 conversations. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Well, so you're going to lose the next 2. Hate to break it to you, Patriots fans. You're going to lose to the Bills on Sunday, and you're going to lose to the Dolphins Sunday before Halloween. Then you have the Commies at home, Colts in Germany, bye week, Giants on the road, Chargers at home, Steelers on the road. Those are all pretty winnable games on paper. You're going to tell me that we can't beat the Colts who don't have Anthony Richardson anymore? You're gonna tell me that we can't beat the commies at home?
Well,
The
listen,
Commanders.
we think that, and then they lose to Brian Hoyer.
It's true, but we thought that the game was a loss anyway.
Yeah.
We can't beat the Giants on the road. We can't beat the Chargers, who are made the most dysfunctional franchise of the last decade. And we can't beat the Steelers on the road, who we've kind of historically owned. We can't do any of that. That's 7 wins right there if you play your cards right. Again, we haven't been able to play our cards right.
We're gonna find out quite a bit about this Patriots team over those 7 weeks.
And again, the next
We
two,
can't beat any of those teams.
I mean, they're washes. We know they're gonna get their ass whooped.
Yeah.
But if they win 7 straight right there, what are you 7-7 by week 14? Then you go to play the Chiefs.
7-8.
7-8, excuse me. That doesn't really put you in a playoff spot, I don't think, but takes you out of tank conversations at the very least, which I didn't want to be there. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, you have 7 games right there after losing the next 2. See what you can do.
Yeah.
Not a lot of optimism there, but it is what it is. Those are 7 winnable games, and you can look forward to that stretch instead of the next 2. But it is time for picks. Let's get to picks, shall we?
Yeah, let's do some picks.
Let's do some picks. Where did I have my setup? Obviously, week 7 pick 'em. In week 6, Ryan hops back in the win column, beating me 11-10. But it's a new week. It's a new week. Let's talk some foosball. God, the allergies right now. I don't know if you have it too, but
Dude, my eyes are red as shit yesterday.
stuffy nose galore over here. Ugh. Don't feel good about that. But first up, Thursday Night Football. The Jaguars are heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints lost to Houston last week. The Jaguars, didn't they beat the shit out of the Colts?
Yeah, they beat the Colts, yeah.
Who you got in this one? Why?
Well, Trevor Lawrence may or may not play with a knee injury. So
Okay.
I'm on the assumption that from what I've read, he is going to play. And New Orleans, I mean, they're just bleh. You lost to this bleh, New England. Give me Jacksonville.
I agree. Up next, the Bears are traveling to Vegas to take on the Raiders. This is not a Germany game or thing, is it?
No. This is just a 1:00 in Chicago. So
In Chicago? Fucking
it's in Chicago, yeah.
fucking Tristan read it to me backwards. Okay. Jimmy Garoppolo homecoming if he's able to play. He's going to Chicago to take on his hometown team, the Bears. The Bears, I don't think will play Justin Fields, and I don't think the Raiders will play Jimmy G. So it's going to be Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer versus what the hell is that kid's name?
Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, him.
My new
Who you got in this
dynasty
one?
hope, Tyson Bagent.
Who do you got?
Yeah, it's. Listen, if anybody other than Raiders and Bears fans watch this game, and even Raiders and Bears fans, you guys are sick for watching this.
Mhm.
Don't watch it. With that being said, give me my king, AOC.
I
The
agree.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I agree, and even if it's Brian Hoyer, I'll take the Raiders. Brian Hoyer, it's just a quick little second on him. He threw some of the best balls I've ever seen him throw last week. He had some darts. Can't even say he didn't.
Hoyer. I cannot believe it, man.
Who, by the way, you cut and ate money to cut. Made Mac Jones' only mentor in his entire career.
There's some rumors around why they cut him.
I know. But yeah. Up next, the Browns travel to Indy, right?
Yep.
To take on the Indianapolis Colts. I got the Browns in this one. I think they're just a much better football team than the Colts are now. Taken from Murder Marv Jr. God, did I say that? Sorry. Who you got in this one?
Allegedly. Yeah, give me Cleveland in this one. It's too easy. It's fine.
We're skipping Buffalo and New England. Save it for the end. The Commies are heading to MetLife to take on the Giants. Who you got in this one?
From what I've heard, apparently Daniel Jones owns Washington.
Really?
So, yeah. Give it the Giants.
Is Daniel Jones going to play?
I think he will.
Okay. NFC South battle. The Falcons head to Tampa after Ritter blew the game last week, throwing 3 picks. Tampa coming off the bye week. They look healthy. They look sharper than we thought they'd be. Who you got in this one?
Give me Tampa.
It's gotta be gross seeing them win games with Baker Mayfield, but after Brady's last year, it was kind of abysmal. Up next, this is going to be a really good game. The Lions, they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Who you got in this one?
I'm taking the Lions pill.
Tristan's right there with you. Any thoughts as to why?
I think Baltimore. Listen, I was really bullish on Baltimore. I mean, shit, Lamar winning MVP and all that, but I think for as great a football as Lamar Jackson's playing, the Baltimore Ravens as a collective have been kind of underachieving a little to what they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And Detroit is just red hot, like probably the hottest team in the league right now.
Yeah.
So, give me the Lions. I'm lion pilled.
I took the Ravens. I think that there's a home field advantage here. And I think that they're just a chippier team. We're gonna see what the Ravens are made of here. If they can still take down those high-potent offenses like the Lions. And I think the Lions defense, as good as it is, it can be a little vulnerable, and Lamar Jackson is a defense breaker. So we'll see. I'll take the Ravens, but it was a toss-up for me. I could see this game going either way, and I could even see the Lions blowing them out if it gets out of hand quick. Up next, the Steelers head to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Who do you got?
Give me the Rams.
The Steelers have been impressive, but I wouldn't take them over an established team of the Rams, who are playing a lot better football than we thought they would.
Still fire Matt Canada.
Oh yeah, they were waiting on that. The Cardinals are heading to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. I remember back in the day when we were kids, Arizona beat the piss out of Seattle every time they went up there. Those days are long gone. Yeah. I took Seattle. I don't know what you think.
I think the Cardinals-Seahawks game I'll always remember was that game in 2016 where they took it to overtime, the very last game, end of the game, and it was 3-3 or something. It was one of the lowest scoring games I've ever watched.
That was Bruce Arians. He was cussing out the coach at the end, cussing out the kicker at the end. He was like, "Well, we pay you to make these goddamn kicks, and you're not making them."
Yeah.
I think of the game where Drew Stanton is jumping up and down on the sideline. After a huge run or something. You know which game I'm talking about, yeah.
But yeah, give me the Seahawks.
Yeah.
This one.
Denver heads to Green Bay to take on the Packers.
It's in Denver.
God damn it, Tristan. All right, the Packers are heading.
I have a big sheet in front of me, man. You gotta just.
The Packers are heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. This is gonna be a high scoring game, I think. But who you got in this one?
Listen, Vance Joseph's still a defensive coordinator, Green Bay.
I agree.
I'm not wavering off my Jordan Love until
It was one bad game. I think people are losing their minds.
The accuracy issues are a little bad, but he's still really talented. I think there's still it is his 5th career start. I'm not hitting the panic button.
We'll see. Maybe he wasn't as good as we thought he was, but he's still fine. Up next, the Chargers against Kansas City in Arrowhead.
It is an Arrowhead, yeah.
Okay, great. I took the Chiefs, the Chargers. They're a 5-win team. They are. They're a 5-win football team. I think that's what they're going to be.
Brandon Staley's coaching a football team. Give me whatever team goes against Brandon Staley's team.
Up next, the Dolphins are traveling to Philly to take on the Eagles. The Dolphins are playing some of the best football in the NFL. I'm taking the Dolphins, pulling off the upset against the defending NFC champions. I don't know how you feel.
If we were doing this week 1, I would take Philadelphia. It's not week 1. Philadelphia's been I should have brought them up in the NFL segment, but we were too busy talking about coaches and Kyler and all this other shit.
No,
But
go for it. Go ahead.
But Philadelphia, man, they've been like honestly underachievers for what their expectations are. And Jalen Hurts, I love Jalen Hurts. He's been pretty disappointing this year. Like
bit.
we're seeing some actual like serious regression, and I don't like seeing that. By the way, I want to see Jalen Hurts continue to progress. He's one of my favorite players in the league. As much as it kills me to praise an Eagle, I love Jalen Hurts, but he has not been good. With that being said, man, Miami is playing better football than Philadelphia is right now. And I know it's in Philadelphia. I know it's in the shithole city with a bunch of rabid fans that will probably throw garbage at Tua or
I've had a box seat in the Link one time. Not for an Eagles game. Not for an Eagles game. It was for the it was probably in the midst of Bill Belichick. It was the college lacrosse championships.
Yeah.
The food wasn't great. I will say that. The food wasn't great.
It's never good though.
But these are box seats. You get like the gourmet stuff, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, you have
pizza
like a Philly cheesesteak or some shit there.
Pizza was horrible. I didn't get Philly cheesesteak. The best thing they had was a burger, I think, and they cooked it they cooked it and they left it, and in this pan was like the mushrooms and peppers that they used to like give it flavor, and the flavor was good, but I'm like, I don't want to bite into a goddamn mushroom. That was a real risk. But the stadium's cool. It's a cool little stadium. Lacrosse was actually a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be. But that's my Philadelphia has some cool bars. I will say that.
Yeah, and that's Kaleb's Philadelphia review. I've never been, so I can't tell you.
But
we doing Monday night now or
Monday Night Football? The 49ers are heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings pulled off their first win of the year second win of the year last week. First win. They beat the Bears.
I think it's the second one.
They beat the Bears. The Niners coming off that loss against the Browns, and they're a little beat up. The expectation is that Debo and CMC could play. I haven't heard a will play, but
McCaffrey better play.
Yeah, I agree. But who you got in this one and give me a score?
I don't think Brock Purdy is as bad as he looked on Sunday. And I think San Francisco, they are the team that always churns out bullshit, no matter what. Give me San Francisco.
Breaking news.
What?
The Cardinals have designated Kyler Murray to return from IR.
That is actually future New England Patriot Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked. I did see he was going to practice. So that's interesting.
Yeah. But
maybe
Niners
keep Kyler. But
Niners Vikings.
Give me San Francisco.
Score?
I'm gonna say 30-17. Remember, it's primetime Kirk.
Jesus Christ, you picked the same score as me. That's okay. I will just go up a point. I took the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is a trap game for the Niners. Minnesota finally got the monkey off their back, got the win, beat the Bears.
Yeah, but it's primetime Kirk.
I don't care.
Primetime Kirk.
Does it look like I give a fuck? Mm-mm. That ain't the Vikings. This is a trap game. Primetime Kirk is the reason it's a trap game. They're gonna get the monkey off their back here. I think it's a sneak game. I think Minnesota wins it 27-21.
Yeah.
I really had
40... next week it's gonna be like a 49-0 like Vikings lost here. Like motherfucker.
At least I got the points. And then finally for the final pick, the Bills are heading to New England to take on the Patriots. We've set the window dressing. We've talked about it. Ryan, why will the Patriots
lose? And why? I mean, well, for starters, Stephon Diggs has completely owned them. Josh Allen has completely owned them in the post-Brady era. your offensive line sucks, and you're going against one of the best pass rushers ever in Von Miller. Ed Oliver will probably eat your fucking interior offensive line for lunch. Gregory Rousseau is probably going to eat fucking whoever he's going against for lunch. Your offense has shown it's clearly not good enough to attack weaknesses on defense. Your defense, I mean, let's be real. J.C. Jackson's likely going against Stephon Diggs. We know how that has gone. And this is a J.C. Jackson that's coming off a patellar tendon tear. So he's not even the same player he was in his peak, where he's still getting rinsed by Stephon Diggs. Yeah. Is that? Do I need to elaborate further?
No,
on this?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. You want to give a score just for shits and giggles?
35-14 Buffalo.
God, I said 35-12 because we're not scoring any touchdowns.
Yeah, the only way I see the Patriots having a chance, and that's just a chance of winning this.
Look at
Is
Ryan
the
being
run game
Captain
gets
Optimism here, taking the reins.
Taking what?
You're taking the reins of Captain Optimism here.
Listen, this is just a chance. And that is if the run game can get going and you can control time and possession.
So do
That's
what you
the
did against
only way you're
Miami, but
winning.
actually finish the job.
Wait, what'd you say?
Do what you did against Miami, but actually finish the job.
Yeah. That's the only way you're winning.
Well, I'm right there with you. But we're not. 35-12. All field goals.
Yeah.
If you're a betting man, bet on the Patriots to not score a touchdown. Actually, those odds probably aren't as great as I think they are they? It's probably a favorite to score no touchdowns.
If you're the betting man, no matter the number on Stephon Diggs' yards, bet the over.
Bet the over, absolutely. Bet the over on catches.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We'll be back next Wednesday with another episode of the Foxboro BeatCast. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, retweet, re-X, whatever, wherever you get it, wherever you listen. We will be here next week, hopefully with a win. I pray. But he's been Ryan Moore. I've been Kaleb and Chesney. Any final thoughts before we part ways?
Yeah. Fuck Buffalo regardless.
Agreed. We will be back next week. Thank you for listening. Go Patriots, I guess.
Go Pats.
Thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Foxboro BeatCast. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.